Hold on guys, I've just got to put my eyebrows on before I start talking to you. I'll be back in just a second. Well then. Hello then guys, and yeah, welcome to the brand new 2019 R8. And do you know what, this is one of those cars that I have been really looking forward to drive. Everyone's got a little bit of a soft spot for an R8. I mean, do you know what, you can say whatever you like about Audi, but they really did create an absolute monster. Started with the R8 manual and then went to the V10 engine, which has lasted for now 10 years, because 10 years later we are still sat here in the age of electric cars and WITP regulations and, you know, all of the fun sucks that are heading towards the automotive industry imminently, and we still have this beautiful sounding, I'd say like a baby sports car, you know, like baby sports car, baby supercar. This thing, the first time I really drove one of these, I was in Germany when I was driving from Neuburg, where the Audi Sport home is, to N24, so going all the way to the Nürburgring. So I had a few days with an R8, and I have to admit I did actually fall in love with it. Do you know why? Because it's one of the, I'd say easily comfortablest supercar experiences. This thing drives like you're driving. It could be an RS4. You've got all the comfort, all of the infotainment, everything that makes this a real easy and enjoyable ride. But then you've also got that fantastic sound of the V10 sat right behind you. And you know what? It is just fantastic. I mean, I'm like missing my shift. So that wonderful engine is pushing out 620 PS, which for an everyday car is ridiculous. I had the M5 comp the other day, which was 616 brake horsepower, but in a big, heavy, nearly 2-ton saloon car. Now you package that up into a two-seater sports car in a fairly leery colour, and then all of the drivability of an RS3, and you have what would I consider the perfect storm in a teacup. I love driving these things. Like, I know that we can be a little bit homologated to say everything's great, but like they really keep refining and tuning these cars to become like the perfect everyday driver that has maximum fun on the weekends. And believe me, this thing shifts, but then anyone could jump in this thing and drive it. And because you've got that quattro system in there as well, that Audi are so well known for. I mean, we all know they make the greatest performance quattro cars and the greatest performance estate cars with the RS6, which there is a new one coming out this year, which I'm very excited to drive. Yeah, they are absolutely brilliant. I go this way. Oh my god, is it that way? Okay, so currently I'm getting lost in the Oxfordshire countryside, but I'm not lost, guys. I'm having a great time. And now I'm stuck behind a galaxy! Anyway, we'll let the dad reveal. Did you know how aggressive people carrier dads are? And here she is in all of her glory. I think definitely if you're going to have one of these type of cars, like, you have to go for a bright colour. I don't know, like, although it would look really good on black, but you know, that's just me. But I love the Vegas yellow. I love gloss black against like a really bright colour. Defo probably wouldn't have gone for the matte silver on the accents, but still, whatever spec is your own choice. Now, obviously, a few things that are different. You've got the rear bumper is entirely been redesigned. You've got the big, like massive oval tip exhaust. Are a bit hot because I've just had a drive in it, but look how big that is. Like, it looks super aggressive. Gloss black diffuser on there, and they've actually gone for like the integrated all across grille, which I kind of like because it just gives it sort of like a very streamlined look. You've got the little carbon spoiler here, and that's what you want to see when you're looking over the top of it. It seems like it's lower as well. It's like the roof line seems to be so, yeah, it's like real low. I don't know, I think maybe I could be wrong, I'll have to check on that, but it appears very much more streamlined. I mean, the whole thing looks mad aerodynamic. And on the front here, completely redesigned front bumper. It's wider, again, single grille situation with the gloss black, aggressive tinted lights there. Yeah, it's mega. This one's got the 20-inch optional wheels on it, and then the ceramic brakes on there as well. These are obviously in red, you can see that. I don't need to point out what you can see. But it's got all of the original kind of characteristics of an R8, but they've just, as I said earlier, refined it. Having a quick look inside, you know, Audi cockpit. Nice, lots of black Nappa leather everywhere. Love the perforation here in the seats. It's just really sort of subtle inside, which I kind of like. I don't think it needs too much going on. A few little carbon bits and bobs. There's quite, oh, there's a big thing back here you can put all your stuff in. That's great. I've kind of like anchored all of my stuff with the seat belts in case it goes everywhere. But yeah, I mean, it's a lovely looking machine. It's definitely got a lot of road presence. You know, everyone's going to hear you and see you coming with these things. Do you know what this really reminds me of, right? Back in the day when I had my Mark IV Golf, it was like the top modification to take actually off an Audi TT, the filler cap. So I could just imagine like people trying to, you get one from a scrapyard or something, like the Mark 1 TT filler cap, and try and put it on your Mark IV Golf. Why? Because modification. I don't know if it's still a thing anymore. But yeah, it is a thing of beauty. It drives fantastically well. Ooh, do you know what this looks like, right? Do you remember that film, It, where the kids run off and go into the little like underground tunnels bit? How much does that remind you of that? I'm just waiting to see like a red balloon or something come up from down here. Ooh, I'm gonna go. Now when we think of cars, it kind of ignites, well, definitely does in me, that sort of like real childlike behaviour and memories of, you know, when you were out playing and you were like pretending to be a car and you were just like rah, rah, like just always made that noise. I think that the reason why they still make these engines is because deep down within all of us is that kid when we're driving, literally from 18 years old up until 50, 60 years old, we're all just like, yeah, all right. Like, it's literally like, we can't help ourselves. It's just the original noises that we used to make as a kid when we were playing with our toy cars. And they engineer these noises to sound just like, maybe not like that, but you know exactly what I mean. Which is what gives us that smile. It's kind of like, ooh, it makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside, doesn't it? Because you're just like, oh, you're a big kid again. Like Audi are making cars for the big kids in all of us. That's why they offer such an amazing noise from factory. Yeah, could you imagine what this would sound like with, I don't know, like a Larini exhaust or something on it? It would be ridiculous. I love it! Now, I tell you what I've got now. This is the key to the V8 manual. So the first gen 2007 V8 R8. Now this thing is absolutely wicked. Now simply because it's just the purest of the R8 family. It's the first one that they ever made. So therefore it's a manual, it's a V8. And yeah, do you know, I remember the first time I ever saw one of these and we were all like, whoa, what is that? So I'm going to jump in it and have a drive because this is the only other car that I wanted to drive today, just because I want to see how it compares, if it compares, well it doesn't really, but actually getting in it. You can see the manual transmission there, all my stuff on the seat, but yeah, this is the one, guys, that you want to drive. I can't wait to feel like the clunky gear shift. I mean, even the key, they remind me of my mum's, oh God, they remind me of my mum's Mark 1 TT. This is exactly the key that she had with her car. Just the fact that it's got a clutch as well. Whoa. It's so old school in here, I absolutely love it. Even down to the infotainment, everything is just like a throwback. Even though 2007 wasn't that long ago, it feels like a lifetime when it comes to cars and how far they've come. Let's go for a drive. Whoa. Listen to that in. Oh, that is just wicked, isn't it? You know, when you've got like that original clunky gated manual handbrake. It's so analog, so binary. I love it. Ooh. There's the clutch point. There it is. I'm actually like, I remember, as I was just saying, like when these cars came out and they were just unbelievable at the time. And yeah, I borrowed quite a bit of seems like it's borrowed quite a bit from the TT, sort of like the seats remind me of it, the steering wheel, the way all the leather's gone shiny. That was just like my mum's Mark 1 TT 225 back in the day. Let's go for a drive. Whoa! That is wonderful. Makes you want to do some like Fast and Furious gear shifts just so you can. Whoa. That's exciting. It sounds good as well. Like, do you know what? I've always thought like one of these as a drift car would be amazing, but I feel like the weight dispersion, like dispersion's not even a word, would be kind of weird because it's all like rear. I don't know, but like that noise. You hear that? Ooh. An interesting feeling, isn't it, when you get so used to driving you know, automatic transmission cars. It's so great to get back into like a manual transmission car when you just get so used to driving you know, automatic transmission all the time, and you know, flappy paddles and Tiptronic and all of that stuff, whereas this is just a completely different experience. You know, like you have a much more engaged driving experience, I personally think anyway. Oh, this is so nice though. Like, I think that they've done a really good job to offer us this as like, you know, as a comparison piece to drive this and to, you know, see how smooth its you know, its baby brother is now these days. And Grandad here is just a piece of pure machinery. But I have to admit, there's some it's definitely the manual box and the gear. Like, I just want a car with a gator. Is that too much to ask? Maybe I should just put one in the BMW. Or would that just hinder things? Probably. Still, that noise. Oh man, I have had an absolutely wicked day. I mean, all the information about the new R8, I can put some links in below for you. It's a great car, guys, and it's one of those cars that if you're a true driver and truly passionate about your German cars, like, you've got to have a feel for it. You've got to understand that that is at the peak of Audi sports technology. It's great. Anyway, I will catch you guys again very soon, where I'm sure I'll be driving something different again. 1 wheel, 2 wheel. I haven't actually done 1 wheel yet. 2 wheels, 3 wheels, 4 wheels, you name it. I was about to say I'll ride it, but that sounds terrible. On that, thank you and good night.